Hello, everyone. I am so happy to see you all again. I am Tiffany Fambro of Clarity, Confidence, Courage, Women's Empowerment, and I am so excited for my guest, Miss Christine Howard. I cannot believe I was able to get her on here. Christine, can you tell our viewers about yourself and your background?
Absolutely. I'm so grateful to be here, Tiffany, and I so resonated with your energy when we first met. So it's fun to connect at this deeper level in our conversation today. So I call myself a leadership and lifestyle coach, and I have been working with women for quite a while in a variety of capacities, but most recently, what really came out of a transformation that I went through myself is that I work with women who have said yes to a calling. It could be your heart's like a heart center calling, a soul calling. I call them soul callings, but they're stuck in either overwhelm, self doubt, overwork, feel like they're going it alone. And I am their guide, their cheerleader, their support person to help them journey through that to that fulfillment of that goal and that vision, but to do it from a whole new paradigm, which brings grace and ease and joy to the journey.
Wow. That is so amazing. I love everything you just said in that because I think that's so needed right now for so many women around the world. Christine, I
Absolutely.
feel like whenever I interview women, and I know from my own perspective, we don't just get here by circumstance as far as this journey that we are on towards our life purpose. So, can you tell our viewers, how did this start for you? How did you get here?
I'd be happy to share that story. So, at the highest level, I have been a coach for a long time. I really felt the calling to be a coach back in my corporate days, which was in 2000, 2001. And I worked in IT. And while corporate was great, it allowed me to definitely use a portion of my gifts and talents. I knew there was something more that I was here to do in this lifetime, right?
Yes.
We often have those, but then it's like, how do I do that? So very serendipitously, I was introduced to coaching. And when I was introduced to it, the light bulbs went on, and I lobbied to my manager and director to have me get certified as a coach and actually start to do coaching within IT. So my first introduction was very structured because we had these big department goals, and it was, how do we get over the obstacles? How do we keep the employees moving forward? And I loved it, loved it, loved it. It was only a portion of what I did, but the more I did it, the more I saw this was a big part of who I naturally was, and a gift, a talent that I brought. So fortunately, the company about 9 months later was going through some downsizing, and I had the opportunity to leave with a severance package. And so I took that entrepreneurial jump, which again was one of those things that I always felt this calling at some point to be my own boss, call my own shots, and all of that. And I don't know if you want me to go into that story, but there was a whole story that unfolded when I became the entrepreneur, and the stars kind of dissipated, and I had to face, so this is what it really means, and all the fears, right? So I got to face early on all the fears of, I'm not enough. Do I have enough training? Do I know what I'm doing? Where do I find clients, et cetera, et cetera. So that journey for me was a very hilly journey of facing one obstacle after the other. And but I like over time it morphed. So it morphed from what that traditional model of, I'm here to help you achieve your goal. I don't care if it's a health goal, a financial goal, a relationship goal. I have this formula and system to get you from A to Z, and that's what I did. And it was great. It was my perfect journey. But at, oh gosh, 2014, my daughter was in college, my son was out of high school, and I was rejuvenating my life, my career. I had turned 50, and I was like, I just saw this huge rebirth for myself. And so I actually started taking my coaching in a little bit different place of a health coach. And I was in the middle of certification for that when I found out, or when I was given a diagnosis of early stage breast cancer. Yeah.
Wow.
And I will say, looking back, it's easy to look back and see all the signs. I was totally stressed out with my kids, with my relationship. I was, I was like most people are, I was on that treadmill, Tiffany, and it was go, go, go. And I was stressed about how am I going to, find clients? Am I doing enough? And trying to manage every aspect of the home life. It was a train wreck that was going to happen at some point for sure.
Hmm.
So in the process, and I truly see this as a gift, and I was very fortunate, it was an early wake up call. I started to look inside. And I think we all have that moment or those moments in our life where we start to turn back inward, because I had been someone who was so looking externally for fulfillment, and whether it's the vacation or the car or the house or the certain kind of lifestyle, they were great, but it still left that empty feeling of there's something more, and I feel like it's missing, and you just try and grasp it, you're not getting it. So this healing journey I went on really helped me to start to go inward, and I saw how I was not taking care of myself. At a deep level, I wasn't truly even loving myself,
Mm,
which is a
wow.
huge revelation. And I could logically say, because this is where I was living. I was living in my head. I was disconnected from my intuition. I would ignore it. And how many times do we hear that voice? And we're like, I just don't want to go there. I'm afraid. I don't know what it means. My life is going to turn upside down. That was me. I was in fear and control for so many years with my kids, with my relationship, with the life that I was really like forcing myself to create.
Yes.
Again, this is part of what we've culturally been taught. So I'm sure I'm not unique in this. So the journey, again, healing helped me to really see I need to start to take care of myself, whether it's fun things, naps, walk on the beach, time to journal, time to reflect. I'm someone who needs space to kind of let things digest. And because I was just going through the motions of my life, I truly was disconnected from the deepest, most satisfying and fulfilling parts of myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
deep.
that it is deep. I know. I know. And I promise this will come to the edge of where I am right now in my business is then like 9 months into this healing journey, my husband of 21 plus years told me he was done with the relationship. It
Mm,
was over, and that he had actually checked out a couple years beforehand emotionally, which is what I was sensing and feeling. But again, so afraid to face it. And we'd have
hmm.
these little short conversations, and then I'd back off and be like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And not really wanting to take the deep dive. So when that happened, let me tell you, like, it's like every bag I was carrying, all my plans rolled up under my arms, the architect of my life, I just let it all go,
Wow.
just dropped it all. And something just like it hit me like a lightning bolt, like, you cannot control this. You have to just let it all go. And it took me to an even deeper dive in my life and how I was showing up again with the control and the lack of self-love and the
Mm,
fear and all of these things. So little by little, and I was coaching at the time. I was still coaching, and but I saw that things needed to change. And that biggest change was to get back to who I truly am, to not only love myself, but to honor what it is I truly desired for myself
yes.
inside, right? So I began to listen to those callings, listen to my creativity. Like, I always wanted to dance, take dance lessons, and I tried it once, and it was, my husband didn't want to do it, so I gave up on it. Like, so many things, I was looking for permission from everybody in my life.
Christine, I can so relate to that. I mean, and I feel like every woman that I talk to at some point in her life kind of felt that, kind of felt like there's something not quite right here. I'm living the life that I was told was kind of like the way to go. And
Yes,
yet there's this conflict, there's this little resistance that I'm feeling either in my heart center or the pit of my stomach. Women feel it in different places. And
right.
it's telling me and I'm not paying attention. So let me ask you, Christine, what at what point, like, how did you get that courage to finally face the thing that
Yeah.
had been calling you?
For me, a big part of that, Tiffany, was the end of my marriage, because it was such a like show-stopping crash, where everything that I knew and that I was clinging on to was
Mm,
gone. And so what more perfect time to, and I guess some people could get into self-pity about that. There was something for me that the seed had already been planted from the journey of the healing from breast cancer. So I already started to feel like what it felt like to own and love myself. So when this happened, the universe maybe was saying, you're ready for the big time now, because you're not, because what happened, I did, well, as I started to love myself, I still was absolutely holding myself back. It was some big things in based on the relationship I was in. So, you may have heard this, like the universe gives us the whispers, then it's the knock. And if we're not listening, it's going to be the whack upside the head. And so I almost feel like, Tiffany, to a certain degree, I had no choice but to face this and say yes to doing things differently, to seeing and to what I was ignoring, and to saying yes to it. So the courage was almost, yeah, I almost didn't have a choice. I really,
mm.
again, I could have gone into pity, but I felt, if you've had those moments where you feel like this is a reboot, and this is a time, I truly felt and heard that this was a gift. This was a divine gift, that I can look at it as my life is over or my life is starting brand new. And when I chose to have that perspective, right, to truly look at the situation from a place of empowerment, that I think ultimately sealed the deal of the courage to step forward into the true unknown for my life.
Christine, this is giving me chills because I love your story. And I mean, I see so
Mm,
much of similarities in some of the things that you described that I experienced myself. And it's so funny because I think that sometimes when you have such a powerful calling and the universe is trying to get your attention, it almost feels like you're being dragged. You're
yes.
literally being dragged to it, and you're like flailing, trying to resist, and it just won't allow you to.
I've had so many girlfriends that said the exact same thing. Exactly. Yes.
Now, Christine, we talked about before, you and I have talked about your business, and I know you talk about radiant achievement, which I absolutely love that concept. Can you tell us how you came up with that particular phrase and, a little bit more about how that got you started with using that as the platform for your business?
It's such a fun story. So, as again, I'm coaching, I'm in this as well, I'm in this healing journey from my marriage. And I again, I start to feel this shift happening in me. And like how I was coaching isn't, it's like evolving, right? We can continue to evolve. So I felt like there's some next evolution. I don't know what it is yet. And and kind of simultaneously, as part of my healing journey, I started doing a lot of mirror work. And I actually created a product called a mantra makeup mat. And I was looking in the mirror, I was saying positive affirmations, I was feeling it in my body. And then that started stirring up all this creativity. And I started to hear my bigger callings. And so, answering the calling and bringing the product to life, I approached it from a completely different perspective, where I didn't have a strategic plan. I had tasks to do, but I was really listening to my intuition and letting my intuition guide me, letting answers come to me serendipitously, people come into my life synchronistically. And I started with this project, letting it unfold in its divine time. So as I'm sitting here experiencing that with this product, I'm like, that feels pretty good. Like, what if I lived my whole life that way? And so I started then translating how I created this product and achieved bringing this product to life with how I showed up for everything, for my business and relationships and all of that. And and in doing that more and more, I spent a lot of time reflecting, like, okay, what powers am I engaging? So I started looking at in the sense of powers. And that reflection led me to connect with or to name the powers that I had been using. So in working with a coach at the time, I said, like, it's different. Like, it's a whole new way to live, a whole new way to lead, a whole new way to achieve. I feel radiant, yet I'm getting things done. And she helped me brainstorm, and we came up with, it's radiant achievement.
Wow.
Came to be. So now I teach women, I coach. I have a book that's launching in May that is all about awakening women to this new approach. Because I don't want to call it a system. We had the system. We've been taught the system for so many years. I call it strategic achievement. And there is a time and a place. And I absolutely do to-do lists and plans, but it's in service to what my intuition, my higher self, my, the inner part of me is telling me to do. And so that's what I guide women who are stuck in that self-doubt, the overwhelm, to really reorient how they are showing up, to take on new beliefs and new paradigms that allow you to own who you truly and authentically are, to bring that to the forefront of your life and let it guide you as you achieve those things that are most important to you.
I love that concept, radiant achievement, because it feels different when you say it. Like you said, versus strategic achievement, it's like radiant. It's softer and it flows and it
Yes.
gives you that feeling. So I can connect on the reasons why you wanted to use that word. That's a beautiful word. I love
Thank
that
you.
story. I I want to ask you, like you said, we are constantly evolving as coaches, as businesswomen, as for some of my viewers, mothers and wives. When times get challenging, and many times they do for
Yeah.
all of us, how do you move forward? What is one thing that helps you get through the tough
And
times?
a big perspective shift that I took when I was making these shifts for myself is that there's a gift and a lesson in this challenge, this struggle, this problem, and the tough time. And I saw that firsthand with my breast cancer, then my divorce, and how I even went through the mediation. I created a brand new journal and I said, do everything with love.
Mm,
And I set that intention. It wasn't about I'm going to get as much as whatever, we can all. So that is the foundation that helps me when I'm dealing with a tough issue, with a problem, a struggle, is I know this is happening for me.
mm.
And then that allows me to open myself up to wonder and curiosity and to be out of judgment and into love and compassion for myself. And let me tell you, I flow through stuff a lot easier and faster than how I would like ruminate on things for days and weeks and, I probably months in the way past. So it's
Right.
a gift. It's for my growth. It's for our growth. And that's a foundational principle as someone who's a radiant achiever, which is another kind of piece of what I teach and talk about.
I absolutely love that tip. And I think that's such a powerful lesson when you can look at things, like you said, from that space of love and asking the challenge or whatever the thing is, how can I learn from this? How can this change me
Yeah.
for the better? I love that. For those who are watching, Christine, what is like one motivational tip? I mean, you have such amazing presence. You have done so many courageous, empowering, confident things. And there are women who are watching this wanting to gain some of that confidence, wanting to gain some of that clarity, wanting to get some of that inspiration. What is
Yeah.
one powerful message from all of your experience that you can leave with our viewers today?
Hmm. It's hard to pick one, but if I would say the one that was the most pivotal for me in the early stages is take time every day to listen to the chatter, to listen to your inner voice, to get still and listen. And still to this day, it's something I do almost every day, and I just get quiet and then I write.
Mm,
Because when we can start to voice what whether it's from your intuition or again it could be the chatter, we start to voice it and face it, then we can do something about it, right? Things that we're ignoring, we're burying our head. I don't want to talk about how unhappy I am. That's not, then all we're going to do is keep that energy inside us. So there's something really powerful about giving yourself the space to listen and just be open to whatever pops up. No judgment, and write it down and let it sit and land on your body. And I guarantee you're going to start to forge a deeper connection with your intuition, a better relationship with yourself. And out of that, action will come, next steps, beautiful things can start to blossom. It's like giving the seed, planting that seed in some fertile soil, right? That space is fertile soil for you to let the seeds of who you are come out. So let's pause and listen.
Wow, ladies, I hope you all are taking notes of this amazing woman, because she has so many nuggets of wisdom that can completely change and transform your life. Christine, thank you so much. I would love for you to leave our audience by telling us how we can get in contact with you, when your book is going to be launched, just any information you want to give us.
Absolutely. My website is christinemarihoward.com. And my social media is also the same. Facebook is Christine Marie Howard, and Instagram is Christine Marie Howard with an _ at the end. So if you look there, you should see me on all of those platforms. My book is launching May 19th. As of right now, that can always change within a couple days. I actually have a free chapter that I'm giving away. If that's something that I can do, you can go to Instagram or Facebook, click on my link in the bio, and you can start to read right now and get a few more nuggets that really reinforce what I shared today on radiant achievement.
Awesome, Christine. Thank you so much. And I will definitely make sure that all of your information is in the description. So everyone, you'll be able to just look in the link below, in the comments, in the description section, and get connected to all of Christine's links. Definitely take advantage of getting her first chapter absolutely free. Really get ready for that amazing book that she's going to have come out. I know I'm excited about it. And I know it's going to change so many lives. Christine, I cannot thank you enough for being on this interview with me, being on this platform, and being so authentic and sharing your story and everything that you went through. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome, Tiffany. So grateful to be here with your tribe.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for us, everyone. This is Tiffany of Clarity, Confidence, Courage, and Christine Howard, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.